All right, could I have your attention, please? Hopefully you all got something to toast with. This first gentleman I got to meet down in Hilton Head here back at Christmas time, and he is an awesome guy. So not only is his kid awesome, but so is his mom and dad. So, doing a toast for his son, Joshua, this is Mr. Joel Solkuski.
Last night, I wish all of you could have been there. We went and did a little karaoke, and we had Bob and Josh up there singing Johnny Cash. It was fantastic. So, I mean, I'm proud of Josh in so many different ways. And then you can see the uniform that he has on. If I was there's so many stories, but I want to take you back 4 years. He was living in Oneonta. We're down in South Carolina. And it didn't surprise me at all, it didn't surprise my wife at all, but we got a call, and he said he had an epiphany. Earlier that day, he had been in the mud, in actually a creek, with a bunch of other guys, and they were doing push-ups. And he called me, and he said, "Dad, I know what I'm going to do. It's the Marines." And of course, my wife and I were a little bit like the Marines. They're the first in, they're the first to fight, you know, all that kind of thing. But we are so proud, and to see, you know, what happened, it's just been an incredible thing. We actually live only 30 minutes from Parris Island, so we had, you know, opportunities to go over and see what was going on. But I want to tell you one little quick story at that time. 4 years ago, this is right before boot camp, he comes down, and I know he's been working out with all those guys, and, you know, so as a father, it's like, well, I got to keep this guy working, so. We decided, I took a day off, we decided to go kayaking, and I'm still new to the area. We had only moved down a year before that. We took the kayaks out, we said, okay, we're gonna go around Pickney Island. Now, Pickney Island, I wasn't really sure the size of it or anything, but I'd heard you could possibly do it with a kayak. So anyway, together we had just a wonderful time. We kayaked half of that island, and we had a little breeze behind us. We had, it seemed like the tide was going with us, and you know, this is what I wasn't considering the tide. We had a chance to talk about life, and I got a chance to get to know my son again, and it's just been wonderful. We got to the end, we had a little lunch, we could look across, and there was actually Parris Island, which we knew was coming up for him. And as parents, if you've seen any of the boot camp videos, you know the Marines are a real deal. But anyway, so we got there, and we came around the corner, and after our little lunch, and this is when I discovered I didn't have the same son that I had left after, you know, high school and had gone back down or up to Oneonta, because we came around that corner and the tide was against us, and even a little wind. Now I used to do canoe regattas up in Oneonta, and this kid was built like a whatever. You can see. But it was probably, we made 100 yards in a half hour, and we had 7 miles more to go. And so, it was all my fault. I was the one who hadn't considered, you know, but what was amazing, and when I saw that day, for one of the first times, he was into it. He was like, we can do this. He was encouraging me. The tables had turned. All my life, I feel like I had been encouraging him and his brother and his sister. And for the first time, you know, this was like, he was going to do it, and he's going to get his dad to do it. And so anyway, we knew this wasn't going to work, the kayaking part. No matter how strong you aren't going to make 7 miles against that current. So we noticed to the side some mountain bikers. We worked our way over to this place, and these guys, they said, you know, there's actually a trail that goes 7 miles back to where we had parked the vehicle. 7 miles. So, and again, he had that Marine mentality, we're going to do this, Dad. So, you know, he got in front of the 2 kayaks, and he lifted one to his shoulder, you know, the top of the kayak and the other, and I was behind, and I lifted the 2 back pieces, and I don't even know how long it took, but we had a good day. I mean, the most I'd ever portaged was 3 miles maybe when I was a canoe guide or something. 7 miles just seemed impossible. It was a piece of cake. And, well, it was still tough, I remember. I was pretty tough. But what I want to say is that's where I saw the beginnings of who he is now. These guys, they have their challenges. They've already had an incredible challenge. One huge portage, or portage as we used to say, 6 months away after you get married. Come on, let's do this. It's incredible. That, you know, that, and look at this today. And I am so happy. We had such a nice wedding at Hilton Head, but this is awesome. This is an incredible day. So I want to raise a toast to these two. And you know what? Instead of cheers, we got to do it. We're going to say hoorah. All right? You ready? All right, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Hoorah! Woo!
All right, yeah. Thanks, Joe, for the insight on the kid. I've only known him as a go-getter, so I didn't know that prior. But all right, so our next toast, I gotta say, God bless with the 2 beautiful daughters, and I've been so, I don't know how to say it, it's just awesome. And what's even more cool to me is that they're best friends, and they get along great. If you ever heard these two sing together, they got that natural family harmonies going. It's so cool. I love doing stuff together with them. But it's been such an awesome time to see these two grow together and be such close friends. So now I want to turn it over to the toast who's toasting Jenny, her beautiful little sister, who married 3 years ahead of her, almost 4. Alyssa. Alyssa Ebel. Where is she hiding? There she is.
I have to have paper for my Joe over here. So first of all, I want to congrats on 8 months and 7 days of marriage already. That is great. And like Joe said, they endured 6 months being away from each other, which, like, I can't even imagine being that long away from Jeff. So props to you guys for that. That is incredible, and just like your perseverance through that whole thing is inspiring. And marriage does bring lots of good times and adventure, but it can also bring many challenges as well. But I know that you guys will always come out on top because you guys have something in common, and that is God. You have God as the center of your relationship, and that is very evident, and it's awesome to see that. And just that you trust Him and you believe that He's going to bring you through any circumstance that He puts you through, and that's just a testament of what you guys already went through with that 6 months being away from each other, just not being able to talk to each other sometimes, and not being able to see each other. That's hard. It's a hard thing to do. And from the beginning, I saw God work in your relationship. He really did bring you guys together, and that is so cool. Like, I remember Jenny saying that she was so excited to meet you, and she had to. Like, there was so many things that could have gone wrong. Like, he could have gotten called out and not been able to come because of the Marines, and she had some other commitment, but it ended up working out perfectly that they were able to meet in Oneonta and meet for the very first time, and they just had that spark at the very beginning, and that was really cool. And I could tell when they started dating that he was the one. I could really tell that. Jen and I have always had this weird, I know what you're thinking, or sister telepathy type thing going on, where we just like can tell what the other one's thinking, or we say something at the same time, or wear the same outfit before school. Like, we would wake up and I would come out in this outfit that was pretty much the same thing as Jenny. And then she'd be like, you have to go change. And of course, I had to go change, even though I was the one who took the shower first and got changed first. But I had to change, but that's okay. And we'd always have the stupid things that we would find hilarious, and we couldn't control ourselves. We'd have laughing attacks, and Jeff and other people in the family can contest to that when we get laughing, we can't stop. Sometimes we just keep thinking about it. And there's this quote that I'm reminded of with our relationship. I don't even know who says it, but is why is it so hard to act like an adult around your sister? Everything you do seems to be equal parts of habit, compulsion, and voodoo forces beyond your control, which is just really funny because that's really how it is. We act like kids around each other. I'm so comfortable around her and around that it's just easy to be myself and easy to just open up, and I can always count on her for pretty much anything and advice. Like if I need to talk to somebody about something, she's the person I go to, and that is just it's great. I love having a sister that I'm able to do that with. Just like my dad said, I really consider you my best friend, and it's really awesome that I can have that relationship like that. And so back to what I was saying about the relationship from the start, I could feel her happiness through the sister telepathy. I knew that she was joyful, and that was great. Meeting Josh was so awesome. He has a lot of the same interests and adventurous tendencies like my family does, and I could tell he was a genuine and respected guy. And not too long after that first meeting, we heard the words marriage, and in December, and at this time it was November, so that was a month away. So we were like, whoa. But thinking in that situation, I would have freaked out or tried to talk Jenny out of it, but I didn't, because I just knew that Josh was the one for her. Someone who made her happy, someone who really cared for her and thought about her feelings, someone who put themselves out there to make her feel special, and just who loved the Lord and brought her joy. My reaction was similar to many others because we knew, since Jenny set some pretty high standards, that the guy she picked was going to be awesome, and she picked a great one. And so I just want to cheers to this wonderful couple, and that we could all celebrate this awesome thing that God brought together. So, cheers.
All right, thanks, Liz.